banger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We've got job numbers coming in. So those jobless claims actually shocking a lot of people. And we got the little average coming in on that, which really broke consensus. We're going to be looking at job numbers today. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum price action. And then also we got Blackrock all over the news today. We're going to be breaking all that down, seeing what they have to say about pensions and a whole lot more. Stick around, guys. It's time to do it. Classes in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I am your host, Army Piper. We come at you every single Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to be looking at like 3 articles, all Blackrock today. They were popping up at the top, so I was like, evidently Blackrock wants to push into the news today. We're going to talk about Blackrock then. Also, that fear and greed index. We're down back to fear. Fear, get the word out. Words, those little squiggly letters, they form words. So they're hard sometimes. Guys, fear, we're back in fear on that fear and greed index. We're going to be looking at that too, but I am not doing this show by myself. I got a great team here with me. It is the OC guy, and the Trade Fly. Right, there we go. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? You guys recognize me without glasses anymore? It's good to be back, man. I actually drove home. You can see I got my setup going on, so I'm excited. And guess what? I am gonna figure out what is going on with Blackrock with you guys today, because I just woke up. So let's do this.
Well, good morning, Trade Fly.
Good morning.
OC, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Really glad to hear that TradeFi is here on his home. Really appreciate, brother, that you made it home safely. Also, when you have time, let us know that gossip that you were telling us at the beginning. You said some big explosions things. Oh my God, that also caught my attention.
We were prepped though. We were prepped though to go without you, OC or TradeFly. OC and I, we were ready. We were set up. Hey,
almost got the OC achievement, right?
Almost got the OC achievement trophy.
It's like a badge of honor.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the news, because we got some stuff going on. We had FOMC yesterday. You know, that whole news came out, and we've got a little breakdown from a Kabisi letter. We're going to look at that, and then also we're going to jump in and take a look at what's going on with the job numbers today. But let's go ahead, move over there. Get this going, guys. Fear and greed coming in right now, 43. And as you can see, like I said, we're in fear on the fear and greed index. So yesterday we were in neutral. Weeks and weeks before that, we were in greed. So looking at this number right now, this does start to give me a little bit of hopium that we're moving into that bottoming range. We'll have to look and see where we're at on that. I still think 56K was a key level, so we're going to take a look and see where we're at with that. Looking here on the daily, though, lots of green coming in here on the market. Crypto bubbles here. You can see we got Pepe at 20%, Bonk up 15%, Arweave up 17%. Dog with Hat up 14% there. Solana up 10.9. Let's take a look at the market cap here and just see Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin there. Solana outperforming all of it. It's not looking too shabby today. Just be careful, be cautious. That's, you know how these markets are. Taking a look here at Bitcoin right now, up 1.6% for the day. Ethereum up 2.6% for the day. Solana 11.2 actually total for the 24-hour here. Let's go down and see if we had any movers. Uniswap moved up one spot there. First Digital USD dropping one spot. Looks like Cosmos Atom has now moved up to number 28. Kronos taking a nice hard dump there. Down 12.7% for the month, guys. What else do we have? Stellar Lumens down 2 spots. Pepe moving up 8. That's looking pretty strong there. Stack still getting schwacked here, even though it's up 3% for the day, dropping 2 positions there, likely due to something else climbing up. So let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin liquidations. Take a look here and zoom. There we go. In the past 24 hours, 60,799 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $200 million. Largest single liquidation. Bitcoin, 6.5 million. You guys can see here, lots of shorts. Well, about neutral actually, but $101 million in shorts liquidated there in the last 24 hours. 98.8 million in longs. Little give and take. The money going from one person to another and back again. So jumping into the economics calendar, here we go, guys. This is the job numbers that I was just talking about. Initial jobless claims came out this morning, 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, 6:30 my time. We were projected on a consensus to have 212,000 people file for unemployment in the past week. Forecast was that it would be 207,000 that filed for unemployment. It actually came in at 208, sitting right there between that. But here's the one that I want to show you. If we get down here to, we got to put this on 1, and we're going to look at this 4-week average here. Jobless claims for the 4-week average. We came in at 210,000 job average per week. And the forecast was that it would be around 214. So this is coming in significantly less, 1.7 million continuing jobless claims. That's what that is there. It was actually expected to be up a little bit higher than that, 1,800K. So, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, job numbers are holding strong right now. And if we go back over here and we take a look at what Jerome Powell was saying yesterday, where you at, Jerome Powell? There we go. Let's get this in here. This is the summary from Jerome Powell yesterday, what he was saying in his speech after the FOMC. He says, Powell does not believe we are seeing stagflation. It is unlikely that the next policy move will be a hike. And as TradeFly was saying, when you're focusing on not when the rate cuts will be, but if we will have a hike, yeah, that's you're probably on the little bit past the center line of bullishness or bearishness on the economy. So 2024 election is not part of the Fed's thinking. Unexpected weakening of labor market could spur rate cuts, but as of right now, we're not seeing that. The Fed is not satisfied with inflation of 3%, which Three should be the new 2, in my opinion. That's just, it is what it is. You're never going to bring that down. People have increased their prices, and they're not, once people increase prices, they don't typically bring them down. So it is unclear how long it will take for rate cuts to begin. And then after that, yesterday, guys, stocks went up sharply because of that. And we had some movement on those Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin chart too, which we're going to look at here in just a second. But yeah, that's what we're seeing there today, is that those job numbers not looking too bad. Let's jump back over to Trio Cam here. TradeFly, OC guy, thoughts yesterday on the speech, thoughts yesterday on that FOMC rate pause, which we figured was what was going to happen. TradeFly, we'll start with you. What you got, bro?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, so I'll bring the bearish sentiment to the conversation here. And one of the things that I was thinking about yesterday as I was watching it all, and you know, mostly what I was paying attention to was the questions at the end. And what really caught my attention was that a lot of the conversation was about, you know, rate hikes, not about rate cuts. And at this point, we actually should have already had a rate cut. And I want people to be cognizant of that now I think the percentage of a rate cut, I think they're only saying there could be 1 in November, potentially. So like that's a huge shift from what we were seeing in the beginning of the year. I remember
6.
going through
We were seeing
these
6.
What's that? Yeah. Right?
6 rate cuts are what we were projecting at the end of last year.
99% chance that there would be a rate cut in November. Now it's like a 16% chance.
Yep.
So, you know, like let that sink in a little bit. You know, here's my I don't know if analogy is the right word, but it's like he's taking a dovish stance on a negative trend. And I don't care if he says it doesn't have anything to do with going into elections, but like he wants to look good going into elections because guess what? Like, he wants to keep his position, I'm sure, right? So, and I found out yesterday something that I will say that kind of surprised me. Did you know that Jerome Powell is actually a Republican? I did not know that.
Yes, and he
Yeah,
has worked at the Federal Reserve through 4 re-elections.
that is
Four
correct.
presidential elections. So that's
Yeah,
why he
yeah,
said that it really is not a factor for him. He doesn't really care at the end of the day because he's been through 4 elections in this position, or at least in the Federal Reserve, and
yeah.
it has no bearing on where he goes with that. I don't necessarily know that that's true.
No,
I
there's
don't.
always pressure.
There's always pressure.
There's always pressure.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I was told at one time that you could not put the word the acronym IED, improvised explosive device, on a SIG-act, a significant activity, when we were wrapping up in Baghdad. It had to be vehicular explosion because we were trying to change the narrative for the election process. No joke. No joke. True story. So
Yeah, there you
even
go.
even all the way over in the middle of war, we will change how we do things. Don't tell me the Federal Reserve's not doing it themselves. So,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
yep. OC, what you got for us, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit guys, this is only my opinion. Remember, I'm not a US citizen. I don't vote there. We have our own vampires here in Mexico, but there's one guy that right now is the director of energy of whole Mexico, right? And he's been like in power positions all across, 20 years now. So guess who's actually kind of like a pulling strings behind it, right? So I don't want to say that this guy it's like that powerful. He seems to be like a little nice guy, right? But who knows? Who knows? Being 4 consecutive years, election years, or presidential, what is it, cycles? That's something to tell, right? He managed his politics well, and maybe he does his job well. But as you guys mentioned, there's always this tale that tell a lie until it becomes a truth, right? So maybe it's something about that. I'm not, again, this is just my opinion. Sorry, my opinion. And FBI, please, you know where I live. I'm not saying anything wrong about your country, like that.
They're coming
Right,
after
back
you.
to you guys.
They're coming after you. OC
Yeah.
and his El Chapo connections down there. Let's jump back over here and take a look at this. Guys, this is another thing that came out yesterday on the news. This is from the Kabisi letter again. And this is why there's a reason to have a little bit of bearishness. All data says the economy is strong, right? That's what we're hearing, right? While Starbucks fell 20% after reporting a 6% drop in traffic. 6% drop in traffic resulted in 20% pullback over a 24-hour period on Starbucks. DoorDash fell 15% after reporting a $21 million loss. Netflix stock fell 10%, reported a weaker outlook. We don't know that we're going to do as well, but still have profit next quarter. They fell 10%. CVS fell 17% after net income fell by 50%. And then Etsy stock fell 11% after reporting weak earnings due to macro economy. So even eBay fallen 5% there after reporting weaker guidance. Is the economy really that strong? So let's talk about this for a second. If like Starbucks, for example, 6% drop in traffic has resulted in a 20% sell-off. When I see those numbers, I think this was way overbought and it is settling back to where it should be. That 20%, part of that is the 6% drop in traffic. The rest of that is the overbought sentiment of the stock itself. OC, we'll go with you first on that, unless you want TradeFly to go first. What do you think? Are these big numbers? Is this because the economy is way worse than what they say? Or is it just a little bit of a wake-up call to a lot of these overbought assets that were just astronomically higher than they should be, and we're just seeing them settle to their true value? What's your thoughts on that, OC?
I believe that it's about the same thing. I mean, at the end of it all, they might look like different end of the rope, but they might be closer than we think. Because I mean, yes, the narrative is one, but the reality, and we were talking about this yesterday. I mean, buck for the bank or bank for the buck. I mean, how much can you buy and get right now without your salary getting increased, right? I mean, are we doing better? I believe that not overall, and we can see this throughout. I mean, or since or even being aggravated from the the thing that we were get the little virus that happened, right? And we haven't get have gotten out of that situation, and with everything making an all-time highs like Trefly was mentioning also yesterday. I don't know if it was on the show or off the show. I mean, that's an indication that something it's about to do. So my recommendation, not financial advice, will be looking at what big movers are doing. I don't know, Nancy Pelosi, or I mean, I don't know who you guys have in mind. But I guess someone that might have, a little bit of an inside perspective, right, in the markets. Other than that, throw it back to you guys.
Fly, what you got for us, bro?
I mean, I got a little bit of a different take. I got to be honest with you. I think that people aren't going to Starbucks anymore because they're getting legendary aviation coffee and they're using our 10% coupon code down in the links below.
Yeah, hey, I will tell you. I still have like $12 on my Starbucks card. With my gold card. It's a gold card. That was how much I was going to Starbucks, and I still have money sitting on there that's been there for over a year. I have not gone back to Starbucks since I started just making my coffee at home, and it wasn't anything about I've got to cut this cost out. It was just, why am I going to? I have better things to do with that money. First off, and secondly, I've got great coffee at home, so
it does add up. When it's like $6-7 every time you go, you're like, damn, like I can have a decent cup of coffee for $1.
What kind of coffee you drinking at $6 or $7? Mine's like 8 or 9. I drink some foo-foo sissy coffees at the Starbucks.
Well, there you go. I mean, that probably
Triple grande,
explains it.
white chocolate
I go with
mocha,
the good
kid
old
tip,
Americano, baby.
Is that tortilla flavor one?
Yeah. Tortilla. Tequila?
Tequila,
better. By the way,
I like
coffee.
I'm actually
all right. I might have to go back and check it out now.
I'm gonna do a Cinco de Mayo live stream with Jenna. So I think we're gonna get sombrero hats and some tequila. I think it'll be a little bit of a show on Sunday. So be interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you how bad the Starbucks dump off was that Jim Cramer actually had to bring, and I'm not going to play the video, but I'll bring it up here to show you. Jim Cramer actually had to bring the CEO of Starbucks on to his show to talk about the plunge to try to save the company because it was that bad. So not looking good for Starbucks right now, but we're not here for Starbucks. We quit going to Starbucks. We're not standing in line. We're not pre-ordering on the app. We're not going in there and getting our, bacon and Gruyere egg bites in a $12 coffee. We're here for legendary aviation coffee and some Bitcoin charts. So let's get into that and start seeing what we got here. We got those articles. We're going to be dropping those, sprinkling them in. Drizzle, if you will. If you know, you know. We're going to be putting that in here, talking about those Blackrock things. But let's jump over to the charts. Checking out Bitcoin here, guys. Yesterday, you see this big spike wick here. And I do got to make a statement about one of the Patreons. The matrions, of the crypto space yesterday in her comment. I didn't really read into it. Maybe it was just surface reaction. But yesterday, this pump up happened when Jerome Powell was kicking here. We came up, we hit that golden pocket and pulled straight back down. And Wendio, I love Wendio to death, but she posted yesterday on X, "You're all getting liquidated right now." And like just very cold. I felt bad for her because if you guys were watching, you would know that this was a key resistance level. And that it was very likely going to stay in here because I still believe 56K is our target on this. But she had no remorse for anybody yesterday. And for someone who's been in the space as long as she's been in the space, I expected a little more a little more care for the people that are not quite there yet. They're still learning. So I just wanted to point that out. But taking a look at Bitcoin here right now, we just wicked up again, getting another rejection at this 0.66. Guys, this golden pocket is probably going to be playing for a while here. I do not think that we're going to get a breakout from here. Even though the greed's down there and numbers are looking good, the numbers are looking good on jobs, I still think that we're going to come down and hit that 57K, that $57,000 range, or 56,000, excuse me, sitting right down here. We still haven't hit it yet. You can look. We went close. We are still sitting above that platinum pocket there on the 887. Long term, I think that we are still going to go into the upside on the long term, but short term, near term, guys, we've got some downside to go. I'm going to be watching that 56K, and of course, this white line that's on here. If you're wondering what that is going to be this range here. It is the next volume node of the Bitcoin chart. Those are going to be the two levels, 56K, 52K. I think those both need to be, one needs to be touched for sure. The other one, possibly. We'll give it a 30% likelihood because 70% of all statistics are made up on the spot. So that's what I'm looking at, 56K and 52K. Not seeing anything right now telling us that we're getting ready to launch off and blow up. Even here, what I'm going to be watching for here on the oscillator ribbon is a rejection around the zero line, top of the cloud there. That is going to be probably about the 50% range there of the RSI prime before we get that pullback. TradeFly, let's kick it over to you. See what you're seeing on your heat map, and then let me know. Should we in this space have a little more compassion for people that just don't know yet? They're still learning. And yes, they probably did get liquidated yesterday, but I wouldn't be nonchalant about it. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, two things. I don't know that people got liquidated because price had already moved down there. And so it already hit a support level. Then it hit an area of resistance where we were just at. So I think it was probably just a small retail play or someone, maybe a whale, getting in there, taking a quick little scalp and then getting out. And then it pulled back because it went right up to, it basically flipped what was support into resistance. And so why would people be getting liquidated? Like now, if
Because
we're talking about coming down.
I think she was referring to like people getting FOMO'd in at the top and jumping into like, oh, it's moving up, and jumping in on like, 20x leverage trades near the top of that run at the resistance, long in the resistance,
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. So it is what it is. She's pretty cold. So I'm not worried about that. But for me, why did I get in the space? Well, the reason I got in the space was actually to teach people, and like, I'm a love bug, man. Like I want people to be good and successful and like not have to learn the same mistakes that I made in the process, right? Like try to find ways to take emotion out of it, try to find a strategy, stick to that strategy, and that's why I'm here. So yeah, I have a completely different take. Because rule number one for me, I used to say it all the time, is protect your money, right? So, but I'm going to add a little fuel to the fire for you saying that price might come down to 56K. Let's go to the liquidation heat map here. And you could very well be right? Because the hot spot here, and this is on the 3-day, is right about 56.4, 56.3, right in that area. That's probably the hottest spot, closest alligator to the boat, I like to say. Maybe they get lucky and they went long and, leveraged longs in the right spot. But I would say that's probably where I would lean towards price action going, is somewhere in that area, just based on liquidation heat map. So again, for those that are new here, that haven't been around, I'm going to go zoom out just real quick. We like to kind of rehash this because really, where's my expectation? I talked about this on Alex O. I joined him yesterday for a little bit, but this is ultimately the hottest spot on the map when you zoom out, and that's about 50,450 or so. So you're going to hear me say that a lot. Unfortunately, it's going to be a broken record. But look at this. I mean, when you zoom out and you look at it, we got pretty much free range to do what we want here. If you're talking about liquidity, right? So you're not going to get any of these cascading effects until you get down to about 50, right? And that's why I think that if we do make it down here, then I think it's going to quickly wick down to about 48 or so. And then I think that's where we'll see the bounce. Now, 48 correlates to the 2022 high. All right, so that's the high for the year. This is at about 48,000. And if you go way back left on the chart, you'll see it. But
Can
I think
I show you something else that's there? It's
Yeah, sure.
interesting that you say that.
All right, let's see
48K
it.
is the 786 of the platinum pocket here, guys.
It's funny how things line up, huh?
Isn't it though?
You know?
Isn't it though? Awesome. Here, let me get back to you. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. So, just finishing the thought there, right? I think that we should flip what was resistance into support. We'll get that bounce off of that area. And then, I talked about it a little bit yesterday too. It's still a bullish structure because it's nothing more than a higher low. And then we can have that continuation of the upside. Now, if we break out of that, then, it's a different conversation that we have to have, right? But for now, not a big deal. And we're pretty close to that area. Like, I mean, $8,000, we've seen 10,000 in a day. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think there's any narrative right now that's going to drive the price that hard, that quick. But, we're close. It's within striking distance now. And I've been talking about this probably for months. So broken record.
Yeah. If you guys have been here on this show, and if you're new here, hit that like and hit that subscribe, because I will tell you that, we have been talking about 56K on this show since we got rejected at the top of the platinum pocket. Which was the top, guys. We rejected perfectly off of the 887 up there. Since then, we have been talking about 56K on this show, and it's taken a while. We've had a little movements back to the upside. Everyone was, well, we might be back on. No, we've been talking about 56K. So the alumni, they've been well informed, and hopefully everyone's just strapped in and making their plans based on what's coming. Right, that's what we try to do here. So, OC, what do you got for us, man? You give us a quick preview of what you're seeing.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go over my FOMO money at the end, but look at that. Remember what we were talking yesterday? Let's just give it a calling here. So bouncing from this area. Why? Because we have a possible reversal right down here on the VPN oscillator, on the, VPN oscillator. And not only that, what happened here, it is that we also have the bottom of the channel. Not only that, if we just take out this area right here and bring up my head and shoulders lines or my rooftop analysis, you'll see, look at that we were basically at the bottom, almost completing the target. So bouncing, we are on our way up. I know I told you guys that we're going to be most likely hitting the top of or the bottom of the channel, but I have new information here. So let me just remove this and go maybe like that. Why? Because at this point, look at what we got right here. We have a resistance. So yes, I know it's low volume, but it's a positive outcome. So there's two things I want to get here. So if we break into the channel, this is going to be converting or this is going to be defined as a Wyckoff spring. All right. Don't know what that is? Please Google it. Wyckoff spring, please. I mean, that's very, very interesting. If we reject out of this, which is what I do expect, why? Because we are below the zero line. Well, then, you know what zones we've been looking at. This one in here and also this one right down here. So just so you know, this is my tolerance, my last DCA entry here. And here is when I start jumping with my FOMO money. What's my FOMO money? The dry powder that I only take or use when a black swan happens. So as you can see, I have two FOMO money entries right there at those areas. So if you want to take a picture, there you go. And that's it. I mean, that's what I got on Bitcoin. We're still on track. Yeah. And everything just
you say those prices. What's the top and bottom side of your FOMO money that you have on your chart? I know it's about where we're talking. I can see that just by the structure of the chart, but what's your actual numeric values?
Perfect. So my FOMO money top range, it is 43,800. The next one is somewhere around 4,800. And then all the way back to 28, which I don't think that we're going to get there, but it was still, I mean, we don't know the future, right? 28 to 100 and then 25, 45, right? Remember what happened with the CV? If you guys can, I mean, related to what I was talking about, the black swan, right? We get prices that nobody was expecting. That's why I'm aiming to this area right here. And that's why it's my FOMO money. Yep.
That'll shake the shit out of some people if it goes down there, man.
Right? No kidding. Meanwhile, if you guys don't know, Mr. 100, I literally just got a notification. DZ.ETH on X said Mr. 100. If you guys don't know who that is, he's like one of the largest Bitcoin whales out there. His wallet's tracked by everybody. He just scooped up 310 Bitcoin minutes ago at $18 million. So, people buying the dip right now. It's happening. So let's jump over here. Let's jump over here and see who's selling that Bitcoin that's getting scooped up, though. Guys, it's BlackRock. I told you we had a lot of BlackRock news today. BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF records outflows for the first time in 77 days. Yesterday, their ETF saw $36.9 million in outflows, breaking that 77-day positive streak. Bitcoin ETFs record a combined outflow of $563.7 million, the largest daily outflow since the launch. But amid those outflows, Bitcoin price falls below 57K, may find support between 57 and 55. What is that range? I think that's 56. That's between 57 and 55, right? I'm just checking. Leverage trading without KYC and guarantee. Oh, that's a joint BuyFi. Never mind. Hey, guys, don't do that. Don't do that right there. BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust experienced its first ever outflow today. If we take a look down here, it says among these, Fidelity, Wise, Origin, Bitcoin Fund reported the largest single day loss with 191.1 million, followed closely by Grayscale GBTC, which saw 167.4 million exit its coffers. There's the whole breakdown, but I want to see if it showed in here the other one that might have been in another article. I think, here it is. $55,000 to $57,000 level is 10% below the current realized price of short-term holders. So the short-term holders, where they bought at, that 55 to 57K would be about 10% down. So here's the question that I got based on this article. We're seeing outflows. We're seeing sell-off. We're seeing lower numbers. Is 10% drop enough to make you want to sell your position? If you just recently bought short term, TradeFly, will go with you first. Would you sell at 10% dump? Would you sell something and protect if you thought it might go lower, it might go up? Like a lot of uncertainties, right? We don't know what's going to happen with these markets. Would you sell at 10%? And guys, I want to know what you guys think in chat too. Is 10% enough for you to sell to protect your money from lower drops, or is 10% just something that you come to accept as it is? TradeFly, what you got, bro?
Man, that's a tough one. There's so many different variables with that. Is it the end of the year? Like, am I trying to tax loss harvest? Like, there's a lot of variables there. A lot of times I don't really go into trades with a percentage. I go into trades usually with a price target area, and then I look for that next resistance level or that next support level underneath of it to set my stop loss. And then I usually go a little bit under that because a lot of times you'll see it wick down, hit that support level and bounce, right? There's different ways to go about it. You can use different like risk to reward ratios. A lot of people like 3 to 1. So, there's a lot of variables. I don't know that 10%, that number itself would shake me out. I've held trades through stupider stuff before. Sorry, I'll try to keep it PG. But I don't know. I don't know. 10% doesn't mean much to me in the way that I trade, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'll say no.
OC, 10% drop. Are you selling to protect your money and buy lower? Or are you going, it's 10%?
That depends, but yeah, I mean, if you get me against the courts, I mean, my first impression, my first answer will be, yeah, whatever, 10%, right? But that also involves where is my money at? And I'm going to be talking about past experiences and also for maybe some of our alumni that might be getting trapped. So what if my position or my whole money is on leverage? Well, then, yes, please, right away. I mean, I'd rather take the loss than take the risk on losing it all, right? If I do have a stop loss, I'll then look at its structure. If the structure has changed, there's no way for me just to be blind, right, on where the support resistances are. But if I need, and here's the take, if I absolutely need to sell, to protect my capital? Absolutely yes. What is the 10% that I can maybe make on a higher markets, on bouncing markets, to protect whatever it's going to be, right? Or at least sell half of it, right? Sell 5, have that other 5% to jump and re-inject lower down. But yeah, if you get me against the courts, I would say yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. I'll sell whatever I need to sell to protect the rest of my capital. The core thing is to stay in the game, right?
Yeah, it's all when you got in too, man. Like you saying, hey, something dumped 10%. Well, am I up 30%? Well, then I don't care.
Right. Well, these are short term. These are short term. So these are people that are down. Like they bought the top. Okay. They bought the FOMO, right? As Piano Matty B says, I FOMO'd in at the top. You know, it's
DCAN. If you got conviction to buy at the top and you think it's going up, I've already given you guys the number. If you bought the top of Bitcoin at 69K when it went to the previous all-time high, and you DCA down and then continue to DCA up, you were in profit at 30K. So, hey, a lot of people are in Bitcoin for the long term. So just understand, like, just DCA in. That's fine. It's okay. So
Blackie Chan,
you're going to see 10% a day sometimes.
Blackie Chan said 40% isn't enough to shake me out. It's just another day. 10% is just another day in the world of hodling. So just so you know, for full transparency's sake, and I'll show this. I'll show this today on in our community on Discord. We do a thing with members. I'll show you guys this today. But in the past month of unrealized profit, I've lost about $140,000 in the past 30 days. I have not sold. I am still hodling. Why? Because I'm still up about $100,000. So in profit from where I bought in. So let it drop. It's fine. I got dry powder. I'll deploy that dry powder as I go because I have not aped in everything. It's really about where are you at? If you've waited this long to buy and you bought the top when we hit all-time high, then you probably should tune into Piper Academy and learn a little bit better of how to build a portfolio and how to know, is this time for me to buy, and what is the way to DCA? Like, we talk about this stuff all the time on the show. So that's what I wanted to put out there. One last thing here on news, then we'll jump back into charts. Guys, let us know in the chat what you would like to see in the altcoins, and we'll start taking a look at those. We're not going to dive too deep into this article. I just want to talk about it. Blackrock leads a $47 million funding round for real-world asset tokenization firm Securitize. So this company, they actually, BlackRock has invested a lot of money in an investment round of $47 million into them. The big thing that they're doing is they plan to allocate funding towards product development, international expansion, enhancing partnerships across the financial industry. According to BlackRock, in our view, the transformative potential of blockchain technology to reshape the future of finance in general and tokenization in particular is promising. This was from Securitize. He's the co-founder of this company. BlackRock flowing $47 million this way. In March, BlackRock collaborated with Securitize to launch its first tokenized fund on Ethereum called Build or Biddle, if you will, as we say, hodl, right? So they're very bullish on the technology itself. $47 million inflowed there into that project, and they are very bullish on blockchain technology itself. They would not be starting up these ETFs if they did not, in watching the money outflow right now, if they didn't think that everything in the future is going to matter when it comes to blockchain. If you've got utility, BlackRock is bullish on it. So someone as smart and as rich and as powerful and as much under their belt in the world of assets under management, if they're that bullish on blockchain technology, I will tell you it's probably smart that we be a little bit bullish on technology and this crypto world space and where it's going also. So TradeFly, let's kick it over to you. Let's start off a little bit of TA and let's take a look and see what you got there, bro.
Right on. Yeah, so
I had a request train.
For the Soul Train, baby. So here it is. Woo, woo. All right, check it out. So we came down to the golden pocket here, and we also had a level of support, this little green line that I drew previously. So we got a little bounce in that area. Obviously, it's not always perfect, but it did have a pretty long wick down here. So sometimes the price action will follow the wick, but we did ultimately find some support right here. And really, what did that tie to? If you go back left on the chart, you can see it, right? You had this area of resistance, and you had an area of resistance right here before it ultimately broke through. So that's where you ended up finding support. So that kind of lines up. Looking at the fixed range volume profile, though, where can we go? What are we looking for here? Well, we're kind of dealing with the point of control right now. So wouldn't be surprised with all of the confluence on the top side here with the moving averages. Looks like you got the 50 and the 100 SMA on the 4-hour chart. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of resistance for you to deal with, but ultimately, if you do push up, you got the dynamic reactor. So I would say like top side, if you're going to see some movement for SOL, at least in the short term, you're probably looking at about 144 to 145, just based on you got the volume area high, you got the dynamic reactor, you got the 0.5. It's all kind of lining up in one area. So that's probably where I would look for a little bit of rejection. If it does move up and right, I don't see anything that would, say like it's going to be too prohibitive to make that move. It's just really going to deal. It's going to have to do with the market itself, right? Is the market going to recover today? Is Bitcoin going to break through? It looks like it's at about 58 right now. So I want to say that there is resistance. Let's look at the chart just real quick. Here you go. So you got this level right here at about 59.3. This is going to be key for us today. I would keep an eye on this area to see if we get back up into this range where we had this little support range right here. If we get that move up and right, I could very much see Solana kind of mirroring that and moving up right into that area that I was talking about, 144 to 145. If we don't, then you could consolidate in this range, right? Here's your volume area high, which I'm kind of already gave you the target for that. Your volume area low, which is really with this golden pocket here. You come back left on the chart as well. Let's just see if we're finding more confluence, and you're having support. So I'd say downside target would probably be anywhere, I'll say as low as probably about the green line, to be honest with you, at about 126. So
it's quite a few, but we're going to jump back into this article and back into this charts. I mean, TradeFly and OC, what do you got going? OC, we'll go with you and we'll take a look and see what you were going through there.
Absolutely. So we were looking at JTO or GTO right now, which is related to Solana because it's staking that it is related to Solana. And the important thing here is that despite Solana is not really moving that much since we have seen it here, I mean, the interesting part is that JTO, it has that little pump, right? And it just did it. If we take a look at our alert here, it just rang a couple of minutes ago. So what's happening at this point? Well, we still have a little bit to go here to the upside. So yeah, we are having our first overbought golden box, but we don't have the OB text. So that OB text will happen once we start reversing here. So if we can make it through the trend line, all right, if we can make it through the trend line and going for a retest, well, then the next target, it is our resistance area right here around 394. All right. Nonetheless, at this point, if Bitcoin things or start to reverse right now, we could be going back down inside the triangle that we have right here. All right. We could be looking for a retracement somewhere around the 290. So just be careful. Those are two good entry points. I am looking at JTO. I purchased a long time ago. So this is basically my first target since my last entry, which wasn't that far away. And I mean, just be careful. This is a good resistance area. Remember, do not long at resistances, just after breakouts and retests. Not financial advice. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
no audio, Piper.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we had a little power surge here and we lost everything here at the house. So I'm back. Everything's running back. I watched my Wi-Fi router over there. It kicked back green, and I was like, okay, we're going to go with it. So we had a request for Near Protocol, and we also had a request for XRP versus Bitcoin. So let's jump into those. I'm going to jump into Near Protocol first, and then we'll take a look and see if one of you guys want to grab that XRP versus Bitcoin, we'll take a look at that. Let's jump in here and take a look and see what we're seeing. Right now, guys, I talk about the 50% level all the time, that it is a very important range. And right now, we did get a test in the past. This is going to be Wednesday. So yesterday morning, we did get a test of that 50% there. Right now, I'm watching that we do have the dynamic reactor coming over, and we're stuck in between the 382 and this 50. We are getting a little push up towards the zero line. I would suspect that if Bitcoin is going to hold in its golden pocket where it's currently at, which again, that's where we are sitting at in Bitcoin. Can you move over there? Thank you very much. Sitting right there in that golden pocket. I would actually suspect that what we're going to see here on the Near Protocol, sorry about that, Near Protocol, is that we're going to stay right here in this pocket above the 50, below the 382. That level coming in right now, guys, sitting at about $5.72 there. If we lose that 50, it is very likely we're going to come down and hit $4.95. That would be the golden pocket there. But as of right now, Bitcoin holding in its golden pocket. I would think that Near Protocol is going to hold it between its 50% there in that 382. You can also see we do have the value area low sitting all the way down here at $4.38. Man, I wish Near was at 400. We did get that rejection from the point of control. So if we don't hold that 50, guys, and we do get that 52K Bitcoin drop, look for Near Protocol to make its way down to its value area low. It's wicked down here before, golden pocket sitting down here. But for now, watch the 50% line at $5.72. If we break that and we get below it, look for that retest, and that would be when I would enter into a short if you're wanting to short Near. If you're wanting to buy, put some buy orders in down at $4.95, not financial advice. So sorry about that. I'm having all these issues now getting back in cycle. I lost my vibe, lost my flow, but let's kick it over to who's got XRP.
I can take it.
All right, we're kicking it over to OC.
All right, I was planning to take a look at Vela, but which, by the way, is doing fantastic from yesterday's analysis. But let's do XRP, BTC. Here we go. We got it right here. So it's looking good. It's looking good. All right, so it is moving fast here to the upside. Not only that, we have a confirmation of a strong strong buy signal here, which indicates that we could be going above the dynamic reactor, which we are, right? So let me just try to fix my oscillator here. So recently, Trading View is not playing out today. So what else do we have? We have our prime. Here we go. Our prime range, our prime trend resistance. This is our prime trend resistance acting as an early indicator then when we'll start changing the trend. Right. So as you can see, we also have a double confirmation of the trend change. So looking good. I mean, at this point, we have a possible bull flag forming here. For the 4 hour, this might be a little bit of a low affirmation, but I think this will be much better played out on the 15 minutes. Nonetheless, let's roll with what we got on the 4 hour. At this point, we are on big resistance in here, but also in big support. So how far do I be all the way in here? If we can make the flip of the root, which I believe that we're going to because we're bullish, right? And we are still within the green cloud and we're above the 0 line, well then, just looking for that support area, looking for the FOR or flip of the ribbon, and off we go to the upside. So far, XRP BTC looking good, really looking very, very good. And yeah, that's what I got on XRP BTC.
Awesome. I'm watching the chat because we're trying to get everything going back again while we're in live stream. So don't even have OC mask. There we go. And we got ZTSD is the topic of discussion today. That is the equivalent of PTSD when you don't have ZTS rhythm around. So we have viewers with ZTSD. ZTSD is in effect right now, evidently on the show. So. I love you guys. Thanks for being patient with us. Let's jump over here. Let's take a look at this final article that I want to talk about because Blackrock is very bullish, guys. We're going to take a look at this, and then we're going to go back around one more time with TradeFly for some TA. But Blackrock, they said they see sovereign wealth funds and pensions coming to Bitcoin ETFs. This is where all the big money's at in assets under management, by the way, guys, at BlackRock. The asset manager has been helping educate pension funds, endowments, and sovereign wealth funds about the new spot Bitcoin ETF products. BlackRock's head of digital assets said, and let's jump down here and see what they say. Financial institutions are holding diligence and research conversations with BlackRock, playing an educational role. BlackRock has been talking about Bitcoin to these sorts of institutions for several years. While becoming the biggest spot Bitcoin ETF would be an impressive milestone, BlackRock says it isn't really focused on size competition when it comes to Grayscale's GBTC. They said size don't matter. Quality over quantity. Don't be fooled by the first break in inflows into spot Bitcoin exchange traded after 77 days now, not 71. The current lull is likely to be followed by a new wave from different types of investors. The coming months could see financial institutions such as sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, and endowments start to trade in the spot ETFs. The firm is seeing a reinitiation of discussions around Bitcoin, which turns on the topic of allocating to Bitcoin and how to think about it from a portfolio construction perspective. Many of these interested firms, whether we're talking about pensions, endowments, or whatever, they are having ongoing diligence and research conversations, and we're playing a role in that education perspective over at BlackRock. That's what they're doing. Pent-up demand for much anticipated ETF has seen more than $76 billion accumulated across these products since their approval in January. And this new money would be a lot. It says here, I saw this in here. It was like up in the like $500 billion range that is just sitting in those types of asset management. So could we see, let's talk about this for a second, then we'll look at the charts real fast for the final wrap out. Could we see a whole new surge happen with the Bitcoin ETFs? That is like phase two, the second tier of the more protected and more savvy investment, because we're talking pensions now. People don't want to retire with nothing. They want to retire with a bunch, right? Could we see this new higher quality investment of institutional money be coming to Bitcoin ETFs like they're talking about here on from BlackRock? We'll go TradeFly first.
Yeah, 100%. Like this was the initial discussion when we said we're going to get institutional investment. There was two things that we were really looking for. We were looking for regulation, and we were looking for institutional investment. And we've only gotten one of the two cogs there. But yeah, that was the whole discussion a long time ago. It was like, what's going to make Bitcoin really be so valuable and really moonshot was that more money was going to flow into it. And that was part of it was the pensions, the ETFs, yada, yada, yada. They've been studying this stuff for a long time. Let's not act like this is new. I see this as a reasonable way to continue to make money. So it's going to be that thing. If you guys have ever gone through a 401k, or if you're looking at an IRA, they're like, hey, what's your risk tolerance? And when you say aggressive, guess what they're going to give you? Bitcoin is going to be allocated part of that portfolio in the future. You'll see. So mark my words on that one.
All right, perfect. OC, your thoughts on this? Is this the next class level? Are we moving up to a new class level of institutional money? What does this look like for Bitcoin's price action? What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe that is the way, right? I mean, this is the way. And not only because TradeFly has mentioned it, but also because, I mean, it's just not now BlackRock and this whole big institution just buying Bitcoin for their ETF. Right now, I mean, and I've talked about this, many of that ETF money will come from ordinary people, right? And how does that work? Just like we just mentioned, you just mentioned, I mean, through funds, through government, or through investments on how you maybe up next, how do you call the KYC, KY, what? Your KY, whatever, gets maybe integrated with an ETF, right? So, I mean, and TradeFly also mentioned that, I mean, not today, but a month ago. So we started to see that news getting in and start using Bitcoin or the ETF as the tool that is intended to be. So yeah, I believe that this is a big step for normalizing Bitcoin and exposing it to the overall public and start showing them that this is not a criminal thing, just like government have been just pledging about over and over and over, right? Just be careful And I'll say that with my team follow hat. All right, just be careful with the big plan that that the ETF might have or BlackRock might have. All right, so remember, do not just jump in the pool without knowing how to swing. So that's what I got. Mute.
We are at the bottom of the hour. Real fast, TradeFly OC. Is there any asset that you absolutely are watching right now besides Bitcoin that you feel needs to be put out to the people before we go?
Nah, I'm not gonna say I have like a trade setup that you need to watch right now. I pointed one out yesterday, but I will say, hey, if you guys are interested on TradingView, there is a trading competition. It's a paper trading competition where you can actually win real money. So just wanted to throw that out for you guys, something for you to participate in. That runs through the month of May. So come on over, join me. I've already done a couple trades, 2 for 2 so far, baby. So yeah, that's what I got. Hey, it's good rocking with y'all today. And what's today? Thursday? Yeah, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. All right. Oh, and I'm gonna be on Trading Awards maybe today. I think I've said that like 4 times now, but I think this one might be official. Me and
four. Are we
gonna finally
CZ?
do our 1v1. Yeah, maybe we'll do it. I don't know.
All right, OC, give your spiel. Tell these people what happens. What do they win if they hit the like button?
Well, guys, if you hit the like button today and only today, TradeFly is gonna kill it today. So, guys, please show your support for TradeFly. Go down here, and click that like button, and also enjoy the show on TradeFly, battling the 101 on Trading Wars. Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking around during our technical difficulty of a power surge here. I've got to figure out why I'm getting that. My studio might be drawing too much power, so we're going to take a look at that. I'll get an electrician out here. We'll get it fixed. But thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be taking a look at everything that you guys need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, guys, trade safe. And as always, get an electrician and use a stop loss.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra,
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
that was awesome, dude.